Alright. Welcome back to What's Niggling Me. Let me start this off with a nice little clip.
Well, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being, practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That, to me, is the greatest sin.
That's Margaret Sanger. Now, there's interviews of her. They're old. I watched one before that I sent my mom. That was sponsored by Philip Morris, like cigarettes. That's how fucking old these videos are. This woman was the pioneer of birth control. It's pretty wild. There's an award, a Margaret Sanger award. Okay? I've seen Hillary Clinton fucking touting Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger, Hitler was pumped about Margaret Sanger. Hitler got his eugenics from Margaret Sanger. Bill Gates Sr. was part of the Eugenics, American Eugenics Society, I think is what it was called. And then it turned into Planned Parenthood. People don't know the fucking history at all. Margaret Sanger started the Negro Project. Look it up. She didn't believe that black people should be having babies. She didn't believe brown people should be having babies. She didn't believe imbeciles should be having babies. White, black, brown, no low IQ people should be having babies. She pushed birth control in the early 1900s because she wanted an elite white race. That's where birth control comes from, okay? Jewish people? The Negro Project was to get black doctors for black patients because they didn't want black people to be suspicious when the white doctor sterilized them. Because that's what they were doing. You can go look it all up. They did not want, and if you had birth defects, you had basically, it was what everyone knows Hitler for, the elite white race. That was Margaret Sanger, the American, who pioneered that. It was your body, her choice. But I want to talk about Joe Biden's pardons. I just know people are all about my body, my choice. I should be able to kill my kids. When my kids grow up, they should be able to kill their kids. Now, my ex had an abortion. I didn't want her to have it, but it was her body, her choice. So I fucking supported her. It fucking sucks. It's fucking not fast to get it done. Fucking calling clinics to fucking get her in there. And then you get 2 pills. I don't fucking know how it works anywhere else. This is Ontario, Canada. You get 2 fucking different pills. I can't really remember. You had to take them, I'm pretty sure, like some hours apart. And I had to she was feeling like shit. So I had to fucking go buy fucking underwear or whatever, like granny panties, I guess, because you're gonna fucking bleed a fuckload. That's what's gonna happen. You take this fucking birth control and you're gonna bleed out fucking the fetus, the fucking whatever you want to fucking call it at whatever stage. I want fucking kids. She fucking sucks. But it sucked. Wasn't my choice. I still fucking supported. Okay. Biden pardons. I don't even know where to fucking start on Biden pardons. I got a bunch of names on here. I researched a bunch of them. It took me fucking quite some time because there's 1,500 fucking names. And that's because Biden is, in my opinion, fucking brain dead. He's not fit to stand trial according to a judge. Joe Biden just fucking signed these things. You know what he did? He probably had a fucking stamp. He can't even fucking sign his name 1,500 times. Probably doesn't even know his name all the time. Anybody that was released because of the CARES Act, which is a bunch of horseshit. They released a fuckload of people into home confinement because of COVID. Because they said COVID-19 was dangerous and deadly. Even though I've never tested positive for COVID. I had people over at my house all the time during COVID. I went to so many towns and cities during COVID. Every time it was going to be red, we left fucking Windsor. And we were going to go to someplace else where we can have freedom. So they let these fucking people out because of the CARES Act, which is a bunch of horse shit. Like, there's people that were out, if they had a 15-year sentence, they're 3 years in, they got to go home. And now Joe Biden said, you guys can stay home. Not even Joe Biden, whoever. Anthony Blinken is making those decisions. He's over there making sure Israel can fucking wipe out all the Middle East for all the Israelis to live. Kamala, she fucking probably put a bunch of them in there. I don't really know who brought these stacks of paper to get fucking stamped. He literally probably has no clue who got pardoned. So this woman is, there's some fucking horrible people. Let me find this one. This one's pretty crazy, but it's only because of the dollar figure. The one I found the craziest, I think, there's multiple pieces of shit on this list. But we'll go with this one. I'm sure this has got to be one of the most immoral. This woman's going to be free. This woman's free. A lot of those thoughts that just ran through my head, I'm not even going to say them. Dr. Mira Sachadeva? I don't fucking know. Some beat Indian woman. If you look her up, I know I didn't pronounce that very right. I'll give you the last name. Sachadava. However you fucking pronounce that. This woman owned a cancer clinic. You can look her name up and you'll see her clinic's closed. Oh, this woman is so horrible. At this woman's clinic, she was diluting chemotherapy drugs for patients. She was reusing needles and syringes on patients. One of her patients even contracted HIV. She was diluting these chemotherapy drugs. She was charging the insurance companies for all of it and then diluting it. So she was able to make $15 million doing this fucking scheme. If you look her up, there's like I read some of the like statements from people. I read two of the statements that were fucking pretty sad because their family members are dead. So they were speaking for them. Seriously disgusting. Mira Sachadeva. It literally reminded me of. It made me think of the pill mills. If you don't know what those are, I don't know. Maybe it's because they did a good job covering it up, but there were fucking places, clinics all over the place. There's so many unethical doctors. Okay, think of Anthony Fauci. There's an unethical doctor. Joe Biden, she's got a fucking honorary doctorate and fake fucking doctor's degree. And she props her fucking brain dead husband around. Watch the documentary Dope Sick. There you go. You'll get a good explanation of what a fucking pill mill is. Even... Fuck, I think they were running a pill mill in Breaking Bad. But Joe Biden, so that woman that did that with cancer is free. Diluting patients' chemotherapy drugs, reusing needles and syringes. There's a bunch on this list, though, that are gonna just make your blood fucking boil. Like, this is a guy's name. Shalinder Agarwal. He ran a pill mill. The biggest pill mill. This guy prescribed millions of opiates to people that, like, he shouldn't have been. But you know what they got him on? $9.5 million worth of unnecessary urine tests. All these, I looked them up. They're on, it's on that phone right there. They're on the United States Justice Department website. You can look up all these people's convictions and gives a summary of everything. There's so many people, 1,500. I picked some. There's multiple fucking insane ones. So I tried to choose some that were wild. Paul Burks. $900 million Ponzi scheme that had 900,000 victims. Had to pay back 224 in restitution. 224 million in restitution. Oh, this guy's scheme. If you ever watched the Big Short, I watched it a few times. It's pretty good. Steve Carell, Christian Bale. It was good. I remember the first time I watched it, I didn't really understand way back then. Then I watched it multiple times and watched other documentaries and stuff like that. I understand it. I watched like Bernie Madoff. That fucking loser is Bernie Madoff in one of the movies. What's that guy's name? Robert De Niro. Thinks he's a tough guy, that guy. Yeah, this scheme they had. This guy promised investors 125% return and collectively shared daily net profits. I've never heard that. Like, read a lot of schemes and watch a lot of documentaries, and that scheme, it's almost like the Hawk Tuah coin. Like, you fucking believed in that, you deserve to lose your money. These people believed that however much money went into the liquidity pool was going to be distributed to the investors every day. Who's ever fucking doing that? Who's doing that? Oh, and this guy, he made the daily net profits up. This guy didn't keep records and books. Like, this guy was having a free-for-all with everybody's money. But he only diverted, of the 900 fucking million, he only diverted 10 million to himself. Weird. It's crazy that a lot of these people got out, because a lot of these people made a lot of money. And and ruined a lot of fucking lives. But they made a lot of money. You never know if they stashed some. Family members got some of that money. One of these women in here, it sounded like, it's the woman who embezzled $54 million from a small city, or small town. Her fucking family has fuckloads of money, somehow. This woman's a piece of shit. There's a 3-year-old article out there from this woman, but it isn't this woman. Someone wrote it for her, like a lawyer wrote it or whatever. Yeah, her lawyer probably wrote this. It was a plead for clemency. Joe Biden, please fucking do what he just did. She doesn't fucking deserve it. This is the woman. She got 15 years in jail, and she got out in 3 because of the stupid CARES Act. Because COVID was so deadly. Wendy Heckman. I'll put all their government names on here. Even if I can't pronounce them. This woman was manufacturing and distributing carfentanil out of her home. Imagine doing that. Definitely, I won't say definitely, okay? I'll say highly likely you killed people. Because I know more people died from fentanyl than natural causes, cancer, anything else. I've seen the zombies. I'm about to go back to Windsor. When I go downtown to see my brother, I bet you there's going to be zombies bent over touching their toes in the freezing fucking cold. COVID was so deadly, but who cares about people fucking overdosing on drugs? Who cares, eh? We do nothing fucking for the homeless and the fucking drug addicted people. Let's let the manufacturers out of jail. If you read this article that this woman's lawyer wrote, saying she's never gonna do this again. She's a fucking piece of shit. You wanna make and sell that shit? Fuck you. Okay, this other guy. I'm not fucking pronouncing this guy's name right. But it's wild. Someone needs to go tell Joe Biden, hey man, we let the brother of a Hamas member out of jail. He was funding his brother over there in Hamas. And you let him out of jail. Huh? Joe Biden freed a Hamas collaborator before he got hostages free from them. Joe, Bro, you're fucking. This is what you get. You go down in history as an old, senile, incompetent, egotistical liar. I've seen the interviews from Joe Biden from the 80s. Joe Biden is a liar and a plagiarizer. Joe Biden is a piece of shit. His family members all profited off illegal things. Go look up Jim Biden. There is an insane amount of deals gone wrong and having to get bailed out for Jim Biden and his wife. This guy's name? Mofid Abdel Kader Mashal. He was providing money to Hamas, his brother over there. This guy, never even heard of this one. It's an older one, like he went away longer ago. I don't know how to pronounce Nevis. Like Revis, like Darrell Revis. Nevis? Shapiro? How do you pronounce your Jewish names? I do not know how. He ran a $930 million Ponzi scheme. All these lovely people are now walking the streets free. Let's go up here. We got Rita Crunwell. Embezzled $54 million over. It's kind of, I was reading through it and it's hard to understand. Either she did it over a 22-year period. I think she did it over a 22-year period. She started working there in, I didn't write any dates. She started working there in 80. I think in 83. Fuck, I don't know the dates anymore. I'm real disappointed in myself for not remembering those dates, but I did just fucking spend hours going over all these people's cases that kind of maybe get bundled. I swear 30 years. Like, I swear she worked there for 30 years. She started in 83 because in 1990 she opened her first fake bank account. 91, she embezzled like 180 grand or something like that. She was just getting going. I'm pretty sure that's off the top of my head. But she was like, this word I didn't know. She was the treasurer, and I still can't even think of what it's called. You basically take care of the finances. I don't know what the word is, but it starts with a C. She was like the sole person taking care of the town of 15,000's finances from like 1983 to 2014. Is that how long it was? I don't know. She started in 83. I can't think of when she got busted. That's why I'm having a hard time with trying to fucking put these years together. But I know she started in 83, opened the first account in 90, 91, started going. Now I know I've been like, learned a little more about horses unintentionally and the actual cost of them. and maintenance and upkeep and just the cost of a real horse, not like fucking racing horses. Those fuckers are expensive. And she was one of the most prestigious owners of racing quarter horses in the world. She's from this little fucking town, Dixon, Illinois, near Chicago, and 15,000 people. She embezzled $53 million from the city. She was making cuts like crazy. It's seriously fucked that she fucking brutalized the town she lived in. Like the cops couldn't get radios or something. I remember reading in it. The mayor said she was just cutting a bunch of shit and just embezzling. There was like one thing in here I put. I have so much shit on here. So many people's names. I have it all bundled together trying to do it. Oh yeah, it's this dumb bank's name. Fifth Third Bank. And I've heard of it before. What a fucking dumb name, right? Fifth Third Bank. Who the fuck named that? And I didn't click on it because I didn't give a fuck. I'm never going to be working there. But I could have tried to learn their history, but there was just too much to research here. That bank had such shitty auditors, they paid out $40 million in damages. Because they were letting this girl get away with it. Just signing off. Good to go, good to go, good to go. And this girl got bold. Like she figured, I'm good. I've been doing this for a long time. In a 6-year period, she stole 30 fucking mil. It's so crazy. My parents live in a town that's that size roughly. And to think that the town could be out that amount of money is crazy. To think about how much of an improvements on everything could be done with all that money. And someone in Joe Biden's team said she deserves to be free. For 30 fucking years, she was in charge of a town's finances and stole $54 million. She should be free. This woman, real piece of shit. I seen a picture of her and she looked smug. She looked like she was smug. I profiled her. I judged her by her cover. And it's because I read that she was ordered to pay over $3 million in restitution and forfeit multiple properties. She ran 34 feeding sites for disadvantaged and hungry children. And she was like, I don't fucking know how the system works. So I read a little bit, and you get the money back. Like, you charge for it. It's, oh, fuck. My filter fell out of my joint. No, my joint's in the ashtray. So she was like, just like these medical ones, just like these fucking doctors ordering all this shit and then diluting it. So you're just stealing is what it is. This woman ran 34 feeding sites, and she was like not even providing, like she was just writing off like writing that she gave out 100 meals and she'd give out 50 fucking meals. It's crazy to be like it's crazy when you're going to do an illegal thing in a good natured thing. Like if you're ripping off fucking a cancer like foundation if you're embezzling money from them. That would be fucking crazy. And there's lots of people like that's crazy. You're not. I don't even know. I'm not gonna throw things out there. I just know that this woman is working for for disadvantaged and poor kids, and she's saying that she's helping more than she's like providing more food for them than she is. So they're sending her money for the amount of meals. This guy's a real piece of shit. This guy's probably the biggest news person because it's Kids for Cash is a catchy title. Judge, oh, did I give you that other woman's name? I've got to make sure I give all these people's names. So you can look them up if you feel like it. Rita Crundwell. But Judge, no more. Former Judge Michael Conahan. This guy did what I have heard has gone on for a long time. They were doing it to black people forever, especially when there's no technology, and it was cops' word versus their word. You're going to jail. You definitely, cops were planting stuff on people constantly. It's the cops' word versus your word. You're fucking losing. That's why fortunately they got these fucking body cams on now. They're still doing dirty shit, but at least it's some deterrent. So this judge, it's so wild, but so common, and you know it, that he became the president judge of the county. So he had, like, I don't know, this is how it works, that you get to decide where funds go. And so he defunded the public juvenile detention center and sent all the kids to a private detention center. And for every kid that he would send there, they would give him money. He made over $2 million doing it. 2,401 cases where people where their records are clean because he was the judge on them. 2,401 of them, they determined they were wrongly put in there. Like, that's so fucked. One of the kids was 8 years old. He sent to that juvenile detention center. Private prisons. I looked into them for a long time. Again, I was real interested in the drugs. You know, the movie Blow, Johnny Depp, Rick Ross. That's, I guess, who really interested me. And Griselda Blanco. Pablo Escobar, you know, but really it was the black guys that were interested in me there, because how they did it was pretty cool and impressive. It's pretty cool, like how the black guys like ran the coke and crack and heroin game for a long time. Pretty cool. In my opinion. I always do click not for kids on my videos because they're not. You know that poem I read
a few episodes ago. Even though a high school kid wrote that poem, I'm still think about that poem every single day. Powerful. So much evil in that person's heart, and highly educated for a young kid. I imagine that kid to be 15, 16 years old. And a 15, 16-year-old, if you went to a high school and asked all 15, 16-year-old kids to write a poem, do you think they would have that much thought, knowledge, passion, I guess? Like that fucking poem meant a lot to that person. I don't even know if it was a boy or girl. It was the teacher that read it on the radio. And the teacher could have wrote it and said a kid did. I don't know. That's just what the news said when I was reading it. And I don't think at any time in history you could believe the news. So who knows? But that's what this kid was doing. Or that's what this guy was doing. And Kamala threw fucking black people in there, into jail, private prisons, and then wouldn't let them out. They had this 3-strike rule. They fucked over a guy I talked about in one of my other episodes. In the Separating the Art from the Artist, the NFL player that joined what was it they called? The black Israelite guys. Nazareth. Something in Nazareth. Something in Nazareth. Something Rozier is his last name, because I thought he was Terry Rozier related to him. Scary Terry. He's not, as far as I know. But he murdered people. Terry Rozier, or no, not Terry Rozier. The other guy that from Separating Art from the Artist. And part 2 at the beginning of it, I talk about that guy. And part 1 maybe, I don't know, I forget. But he got hit on that 3-strike rule, which is fucking horseshit. He should have been in jail for the murders. He wasn't in jail for the murders. But the 3-strike rule for bouncing some checks is fucking crazy. He's going to jail like for a long time because of 3-strike rule. And Biden had that 94 crime bill. That put a lot of black people in jail. A lot of people grew up with no fathers because of the good old United States justice system. Rick Ross beat that shit. The real Rick Ross, not that fat fuck. The real Rick Ross. Educated himself in jail. Beat the case. Took a long time though. Stop and frisks. They were playing shit for sure. For sure. For sure. So that guy's a piece of shit, that judge. Sending kids to private prisons, because that's what they are. There's a bajillion accounts on there that the conditions in there were shit. So that guy, over 2,400, 2,400 kids, or 2,401. I remember, I thought it was a weird number that they added that one on there. And I forget, 2 point something. He got 2 point something million in total, apparently. How much is a life worth? They were putting money on how much a life is worth. How much is a kid's life worth? An 8-year-old kid sending them there. Like, how fucked is that? Okay. So we got... I'm all over the place. I got little paragraphs, basically, about a fucking person.
all bundled up in here. Oh, I see one, but this guy, this is a... Fuck, I gotta go back up here. Did I say that guy's name? I gotta make sure I say his name. Oh, I did in the beginning, because former judge Michael Conahan. He's out on the streets after sending... There's a lot of... That's why that's the biggest one, because there's a lot... And these other ones too, they're pretty mad. There's people mad that these people are getting freed on the streets, because some of these people... Because at least one person in the juvenile detention killed themselves. So if I'm anybody in their fucking family, I'm fucking pissed. The CEO of fucking healthcare thing.
I said it right away on the first episode when I talked about it. Insurance companies are fucking evil. And car insurance, all of them, they're fucking evil. Okay? So that's why you have the rhetoric you do online about it, because there are so many people in all these different industries that are evil because they're do everything for profit and power. Everything. Banks, profit and power. They don't give a fuck about you. Grocery stores, they don't give a fuck about you. Pharmaceutical companies, they don't give a fuck about if you're sick. They want to keep you sick. Then you have a patient for fucking life. Trans healthcare for minors is the biggest fucking grift, so that you get these fucking kids on fucking hormones. As a kid, it means you got 50, 60 years, 70 years, who knows how many years that you have a patient for life now, because they have to get these hormones since they're a kid. Because this girl thinks they're a guy. So they're gonna take testosterone. If you're 16, you're gonna take testosterone for 50, 60, 70 years. How fucking wild is that? With your fake wiener, fucking... Obviously you're gonna get a huge one. Like, you're not gonna get no fucking little fucking wiener or average size wiener. You're gonna get a fucking huge wiener. I don't know what the balls they do. I have no clue. But trans healthcare for minors is fucking disgusting to push that shit. But pharmaceutical companies, you know they're lobbying for that. There's so much money in that, having those lifetime patients. There are all these industries with all evil people fucking at the top, making sure shareholders fucking are happy, making profits every fucking quarterly. Fuck all those fucking industries and those dirty fucking evil profit fucking monopolizing fuckers. Fuck them. Wendy Heckman. Yeah, that bitch was selling fucking fentanyl at her house. And making it there. So Paul Doggerdas. I think that's the guy's name, Paul Doggerdas. He generated $7 billion in fake tax reductions over a 20-year period. See, this one, of all of them, I was the most confused about, because I don't know the dirty game of taxes. I'm not a lawyer. So I don't understand. I don't do my taxes. So I don't know what the game is. Apparently that's what Epstein was real good at. And that's why Bill Gates was buddies with Epstein. Is because he was going to get married from Melinda for a lot of years beforehand. And not the whole time though. They knew each other before they were going to get a divorce. But Epstein was setting this divorce thing up for a long time for him.
and it was tough. Bill Gates is worth a lot of money. They got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that sponsored a fictional pandemic simulation in October 2019.
So I don't really know how the tax thing works. He generated $7 billion in fake tax reductions over a 20-year period. For himself? I didn't really get it. Like he was writing stuff off that he shouldn't have been? I don't know. All I know is it said he forfeited $164 million and had to pay $371 million to the IRS. That told me you were a bad boy and up to no good. That's what that told me. And now you get to go home.
Now you get to go home. Now this guy, it doesn't surprise me because they gave
that awesome movie. What's the movie called? What's the Nicolas Cage movie? Not War of Worlds. He's selling weapons. What one is that? I don't know. He's the fucking god of fucking selling weapons. It's when they had no bid contracts and stuff, and it's a bunch of horse shit. Fucking more horse shit behind the Iraq War. And Dick Cheney. And Joe Biden. And his brother. I think that one was... Nah. Probably Jim. This fucking idiot. I don't think it was Frank. So this person... Oh man, I can't think of what that guy's name is. I can just picture I can picture Nicolas Cage as him, and I can picture the real fucking guy. They gave Brittany Griner over for the guy that sold weapons, arms dealer, back to Russia. And this person here, that I'm going to tell you about, they gave to China in a trade for 3 people, I'm pretty sure. This little fucking Chinese fuck Shanlin Jin had 40. Okay, this sounds insane. I'll tell you my first thought from this. He had 47,000 child porn images and videos on his computer. What fucking size hard drive did this guy have? Like, what size hard drive do you have on your laptop to have 47,000 images and videos? Do you have nothing else on your desktop? Do you have 2 fucking folders open on your desktop that say images, videos? Everything else is gone from the computer? These people that get caught with child porn on their computers is so weird. It's crazy how many there are. They always got boatloads of it. I guess the depiction of when it was happening beforehand, they always had VHS tapes, like on movies, I guess, and stuff. They always had a bunch of VHSs, right? Now they got laptops just fucking loaded up. Hunter Biden's guy himself doing everything in the world. Smoking crack, fucking every girl, in foot jobs. Joe, I don't know if I said Joe Biden, I meant Hunter Biden. You gotta watch some of these videos. They're so funny because he's high as fuck. So he's always intense like this. Hunter Biden is always like this. And he loves himself. He loves himself. He's just like, but he's been rich and privileged forever. So I can understand his personality. He's probably so much fun. He's captivating to me. Because he's one of a kind. People will say there's other people's kids. Army Hammer's fucking wild. He comes from a real privileged background. The guy said he wanted to fucking like cook and eat girls' ribs and stuff. This guy's fucking insane. Army Hammer. Oh, but this Asian guy, this Chinese guy that the United States traded over to China, I'd like to hope they tell them what this guy had and what, like, because maybe he'll get some good justice over there. This guy, on his computer, had child porn, right? And infants subjected to sexual violence. Like, what is going on? I'm uncovering I'm constantly uncovering massive amounts of sexual predators everywhere. In all the past decades, there are so many all over the world. There's so many. What's going on? Why do people like kids? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I thought it was only, I don't know. The Catholic priest one, when that happened, I was mean to my mom and I rubbed it in her face a lot. Because she likes God, like she likes the Catholic Church. And I was like, what the fuck? These people claim to be the most virtuous people on the planet. And there were fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of boys all around the world. But then I come to realize it's going on everywhere. Corey Feldman was right. They made that guy not normal because they said he was crazy, and the guy from the Goonies was telling the truth. The movie producers are out there, and film producers. Who's the guy? Like, picture that fat fuck's fucking face. The Nickelodeon guy. Watch that Nickelodeon doc. I'm happy that a good amount of people seen it. Everyone should see it. But I'm happy it got more of a reception than a lot of other ones. People want to watch Jeffrey Dahmer. There's way... That's crazy. But there's a lot of child trafficking going on, and it's from elite people. Elite. High level, rich people like this stuff. And it's going to get all exposed. And I ain't going to stop talking about them. I'm so happy to be living. This is the only reason I'm not a black-pilled person. Not the sole reason, but I love lifting weights. Yeah, I'll never kill myself. Never. Here's my receipt. I never will. I'm not going to stop until I die of natural causes at 100 plus years old. It's been the goal for so long. Live until 100. No problem. I look both ways.
Why would you give... I hope this guy got what he deserved over there. Child porn fucking idiots. People not outraged by the Epstein stuff like they should be, and then COVID just made me lose my mind. It's so frustrating, people burying their heads in the sand and not want fucking answers and accountability, because then it just continues. More people keep doing it. Do you think that the people Epstein was trafficking all these girls to, hundreds and hundreds of girls, I don't know what the news puts out there, it's hundreds and hundreds of them. Go look at the lawsuits from the banks that they've been paying out so many fucking girls. Deutsche Bank has a fund fucking open for girls if they want to come make a claim. I'm pretty sure girls as young as 12. But I'm pretty sure they're only giving claims. They're only rewarding people to as low as 12. And there's lower, I'm pretty sure. Why no one? Not no one. Because Nick Bryant has EpsteinJustice.com. But why there isn't more, why it's not constantly in the fucking news putting pressure to know who Epstein trafficked these people to, 1000%. I want to know if it's Bill Gates and Bill Clinton. I need to know. If we get Diddy tapes and we don't get the Epstein tapes, you know. Yeah, I already know. They would have taken Trump down with it. But there's too many Democrats implicated in it. Fuck, I just lost the Joe Biden pardons and clemency because some of these people just make me so fucking angry. There's this guy, Joseph Shereshevsky. I feel like I pronounced that right. He did a Ponzi scheme as well. $255 million over 3 years. Eric Bloom, fraud scheme, $665 million. For some reason, someone thinks all these people that rip people off should not be in jail. They're ripping people off and just ruining people's lives, these people. They should be able to go home and be with their families. At the beginning of the episode, I feel like I probably said more than maybe I should have. I don't know. I didn't mention my ex's name. I've dated more than one girl in my life. I don't like birth control. I don't like it. I do think there should be abortions. I didn't want one because I want a kid. I want kids. I don't got any. But there needs to be them because I've seen if you, I don't even care, piece this story together. If you really know me, I don't think you could ever piece this together if you don't know me. A girl I dated a long time ago, her dad dated this woman, and this woman's 2 kids were, I don't know if they still are, it's been a long time, were hardcore crack addicts. And they both had kids, and their kids had disabilities. They were crack babies. And that's fucking horrible. Now, I'm no Margaret Sanger, but I've watched people that are hardcore addicts have kids because they still continue to do those things. I was in this girl's class. in this girl's class for a short period of time one time, and she, I don't know, she got booted out. That girl was so funny. I remember this guy. This is so long ago. This is 20 years ago for sure. Maybe 21. I remember this guy and this girl. Fuck, we had to be in like grade 10 English. Can't even think what this teacher's name is. She had like a short black hair, like bowl type of deal. Nolan, maybe Miss Nolan, maybe it was this woman's name. And I don't even know what this girl's name is, this crackhead girl. She probably wasn't smoking crack at that point. She was probably 15, maybe 16, even though I know there are guys and girls that are smoking crack that young. And Gordon said, this girl like storms out of the room. Gordon says like, you stink like cat piss. It's 20 years ago, but I can still remember they're on this side of the class in desks, and she's pissed, storming out of the room for something. Who knows what they're fucking saying to each other. And as she's walking out, he says, you stink like cat piss. And then years, probably, I don't know, some years later, I'll stop with trying to say exactly who these people are. I dated her, and that woman was nice too, and I dated her dad. That woman was nice. She cooked good food. But her daughter and her son were fucking like pieces of shit. And had kids with disabilities that then their mom had to take care of. Like, literally live with them. I remember they were living, like, they had kids with disabilities. Like, it was a lot of no attention spans. It's sad. Fucking people doing that, bringing kids in this world that are fucking addicts, but we incentivize it, right? With all the child tax, they're just going to be a product of the system, be on welfare and child tax, and then it just goes generation to generation. The odd one squeaks out, and that's not fucking, and that's for every fucking race. See fucking stupid Caitlin Clark. Oh fuck, this video's gonna end probably. I've been doing this for too long. I gotta wrap this up. But Caitlin Clark saying that she has to acknowledge her white privilege is sad. She should never have said that. Don't cower down to the race baiters. Fuck them. Alright. I'll be putting one more of these out, and then I don't know when the next one's coming out over the next week. Maybe doing it with my brother. Deuces.